Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the POS podcast, the podcast where we break down trending stories and then we guess who the POS is. With me, as always, is the donkey of comedy, Bobby Tamburo. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon and not be a cheap shit and just be on YouTube, that'd be wonderful. But if we understand that as well, if you don't want to, it's only $3 a month and you get 2 shows a week. You get a ton of extra bonus content. You get episodes as soon as they drop. You get an extra episode just for yourself. And we have a lot of fun with it. Make sure you're also supporting our sponsor, Silk City Hot Sauce, the greatest hot sauce in the goddamn world. The more we say cunt, the happier they are. They love stuff like that. They use the greatest products in the world, straight out of Vermont. Jeff is an amazing guy. So get on over there, use the promo code POS, and that way you can save 15% on all the wonderful sauces. Still summertime. You can bring it to barbecues, give it to lonely people. Because if you're a lonely man and you don't know how to hit on a woman, if you give her hot sauce, she'll blow you. It's a rule, I think. I'm not sure about that, but try it out. And don't tell me if it didn't work. I don't really care. So besides that, Bobby, why don't you introduce our guest?
Hey, it's the POS show, and joining us today is a guest who just changed his Zoom name because I thought he had a different name than I thought who was on the show. But no, it is Chris Warren. I was right. Manhattan's finest.
Hey, everybody. My name's Chris Warren. How y'all doing?
Coming to us from Connecticut.
I like that you pay attention. I never do. Even when it comes up there, I just know the guest is here. But yeah, there was a different name, but whatever. It's always funny when it's like somebody's wife's name, though. It's just like you don't even have your own Zoom. Like, what the fuck? It's like, that's I get, like, we've had people like, that's my mom's. It's like, okay, you use your mom's Zoom. Just get your own Zoom.
Who did that? Was that Ray?
Yeah,
that makes sense. He's a little.
That was Ray. Ray had his mom's Zoom.
He's not allowed to have access to computer information.
But he said he does a lot of his horse announcing on Zoom. So he's using his mom's name on it.
Who do you think he's announcing to?
Yeah, who's watching
it's probably
Zoom?
His mom and dad. They're the other Zoom members.
Yeah, Chris, there's is he a comic or is he just like a weirdo?
He's a comic.
All right. But he's like from like your area, right? And he's like Harrisburg area. And he does on the side, he announces horse racing, which who the fuck? And he's a young guy, but he does it on Zoom. Like, how lonely of a human are you? You're like, I can't.
It's actually his career.
So
like, it's what he does for a living.
Because if he's getting paid, that's a pretty sweet gig to announce horse racing from Zoom. But if that's a hobby, that's a dangerous man.
Yeah, but all jobs start as hobbies. So there was a point where he was just doing low-level open mic horse calling.
That's because we're delusional and do comedy, which starts as a hobby. Other jobs pay you up front. Other jobs you sign up in day one, you're making a paycheck.
I never have those jobs. Like part-time radio started with like, hey, just try it. And like, then they finally pay me a little bit. Comedy, same thing. That's why I always say comedy to me is the greatest thing because anyone can do it, and the worst thing because anyone can do it. So all you have to do is sign a paper and go. All of a sudden, you can go on Facebook and say, I did 5 minutes. I'm a comedian. It's like, no, you're not Ryan DeJong or whatever the fuck her name is. Like, fuck you.
Last night,
already with the personal attacks.
I just do it because I know he watches. That's all. I only do it because he'll be happy. He'll be his credit now.
Last night when we were talking, you said the worst thing about comedy was it was full of Jews. I don't know what changed your story till today.
Because it was a Sunday, and then they couldn't be there.
They couldn't be there. My bad.
Pat, you have me on your podcast and skew anti-Semitic. I'm not sure this is something I want to be involved with now.
I know. You're pro-Semitic.
I'm
going to have to go explain this to the Shoah Foundation. The rabbi's going to be upset. It's going to be a whole thing.
Looking like that, you don't want to skew anti-Semitic? Because I misread this situation. You and I were going to have a couple of Budweisers, race some ATVs, talk about who we thought was best and worst, if you know what I mean.
I did a new joke I've been working on yesterday, and it talks about like Epstein and Hitler. It's nothing too crazy, but it's just like comparisons or whatever.
Nothing
it's been
too
working.
Crazy.
It's basically the bit of the joke is that as Hitler would be so mad that in some people's eyes, Epstein has taken him over as the worst man ever. So like for a Jew to do that, it's fucking crazy. And like, so I'm getting a good pop on it. But after the show, one guy walks over and goes, love that Jew stuff. But when he broke it down the way he said it, I'm like, that's not how I had it written down in the notes.
It doesn't, it rings a little different when he says it like that. It's like, what's going on, bud? I don't know.
It's like, love the Jew stuff. I'm like, and I'm wondering, like, did he even know my joke or was he just telling me what he likes?
Well, you just saw the bald head and figured your brother. He can lay some truth on you.
Oh, I always say that. One of the first shows I ever did was at an adult Jewish day camp for some reason, and they had death candles lit up on the stage because they didn't have lights.
What's an adult day camp?
It's a classy
back in
way
the
to
day,
say concentration.
No, they
These guys
it's
are
an
about to die, so I got to cheer them up.
It's in upper state New York, and it's like a camp. It's like a day camp. It's out there, but like the old Jews stay there with no power, or whatever, and they just chat and hang out. It's weird, but they hired. Caroline's was asked to get 2 comedians, and me and Mike Fenoya. He was like 1 year in, I was like 3 years in, and we went and entertained 90-year-old Holocaust survivors in a room that had no power. And it was just my bald head with flames as I'm yelling at you. They must have flashbacks like crazy. It's like,
Do you think there's one guy who's pissed Epstein's taking over in some people's eyes as the worst guy ever? And he's like such a neo-Nazi. He's like, well, I mean, let's be honest. What do you think was happening at the camps? Those kids weren't just getting off scot-free. He had to kill them all so they wouldn't tell their story. No,
don't work my bit.
What? Wait, what? I thought you zigged when I zagged.
No, I was kidding because I'm like, no, do I have to go that route now? Because I was, I gotta bring the kids in. It's fine. Chris, you have any shows this weekend?
This week on
no, did just happening the last weekend. Like, did you perform anywhere this weekend?
Oh yeah, I did a spot out in Jersey, a nice little bar show. It was a fun time.
Oh, you were with Alex, right? Tomaselli. He's been on.
Yeah, I was out over there, and then on Saturday I did a spot in West Hartford at the Elbow Room, and that was a really fun time. And it was a good weekend.
Were you on the show with Pete? Was he on that one?
No, that was the Friday show. I did the Saturday show.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know they've been getting decent crowds lately. I think Avery said he went to one of them. I talked to Avery on Sunday. He was in the contest I was hosting. Avery did not move on, but he did well. It was a good contest, but he did a good job. He was ready to hang himself as soon as he got off stage. I'm like, all right, well, you're fine, man. You did 10 minutes. You did a good set. You're good. He did fine.
Put your arm around him and said, listen, if you can get through those allegations, you can get through this.
Stop with the allegations. Avery's been on here a couple times. The first time I made too many jokes about the race of his girlfriend, and we were just kidding, but like I was just having fun. And then I realized she was like there in the room. So the next time I try to be nice, and then Bobby just keeps talking about how he's a child molester. And Bobby's known, like Avery started in Bobby's circle. That's the weird
time
thing.
Out. In my defense, I did not accuse him of child molestation. I accused him of inappropriate interactions with female comedians.
Oh, whatever. But they were children. But neither things are true, and he's a wonderful man. But Avery's whole thing is that he started off in like where Bobby's from, like Harrisburg.
He's from PA, right?
Right. So Bobby knew him, and then we have a lot of guests on from Bobby's area, so they knew him. They were messaging me like, "Take care of this guy." I'm like, "He's already fucking in. He's already doing the 2 dumb things in West Hartford. He's fine. It's like, he's got it. He already knows what a Cliff Mula is. He did it. He got it. He did it." But Bobby, do you have any shows?
I did a Stevie Lou's show Sunday. It was a lot.
Oh, how was that? The one at the Brooklyn Comedy Club?
Yeah, Mike O'Donnell bailed, but no biggie. We still had a great show. It was a lot of fun. Good crowd.
Are they getting people there?
For a Sunday at 6 p.m., they're getting 30 people pretty consistently. So that's not bad at all.
I just watched a comedy special on YouTube that was done there, and it was not a good special. I don't know. I don't want to be a dickhead and say that. But it wasn't a good special. It was cool to see it was there, but I was just like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Is he from Cleveland?
I don't know where he's from. Tyler Fisher.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
And he got a ton of views, and Tyler's well known. He does great impressions of Burr and all this stuff. He's a funny guy. It's just sometimes the guys who are real funny in small like clubs and stuff like that, especially when they cater to like a conservative audience, when they record it, like I think they just take in their head, they think the audience is just going to all be on board. And because they weren't, they would just focus in on like the 3 people laughing, and then other people just like this. And then you're just like, you don't want that in your video. Like, you know what I mean? Like people arm crossed.
Maybe just don't shoot the audience.
Pat, I love how you were like, we're not going to talk shit on this podcast. Or 5 minutes in, you've already name dropped like 7 people. And said
I'm not
negative
talking shit.
things.
That's comedy. Like, listen, I'm jealous. I would love to have like him. He's got this huge following. He's got man. What does he give a fuck about what I have to say? I've known Tyler forever, and but I'm just saying, a lot of times, I think right now if you go on the internet, everyone's saying Whitney Cummings sucks because her special is almost as bad as Brendan Schaub's. Okay, none of that is true. Whitney Cummings has millions of dollars and makes tons of money off comedy. She doesn't suck. But comedy people will watch a video and go, because I don't like how this was shot or how it was done. That's what I'm kind of saying. I saw that club there. I saw Tyler, and I'm like, that is not the best version of Tyler. It kind of sucks that it's getting, a couple 100,000 views, and people might take that from who he is. So it's not really a shit talk on him. It's more about, I love watching specials, but I hate specials because it's like, it's never that live feeling. Like Shane Gillis is the only one in the last 10 years who's captured exactly what he does in his special. You know what I mean? Like his was so fucking good that and I've seen him live. It was the same fucking thing.
So what are you going to do differently in your special, Pat?
I've had 2 albums already. I would never do a special. I would just record it and then put it out. There's nothing special about me. No one knows who I am. I wouldn't make a big deal. I would just record it and it'd be on Spotify if you want to find it.
Well, that makes me sad. Some negative self-talk, Pat. You got to be talking yourself up more. Be positive.
I'm one of the most positive comics there is, but I'm also not delusional.
You got to be delusional to do
I'm
comedy.
Special. Come look at me in a bar. No offense, in a place that the day earlier, Bobby and his friends did a show. Yeah, why? So it's like it's not that special. I can go there right now and just go perform there. It's like I performed one of my specials at the Elbow Room. I'm not bragging. I recorded one there, and Alan Fitzgerald's gonna record one there, and he's fucking hilarious. But like, he's not gonna say live from the Elbow Room. He's gonna say, "Here's a thing."
Here's the thing.
That's all you do. Here's the thing. You perform it there, and it's fine. It also didn't work well because he's also like 5 feet tall, and the way they shot it. He looks.
I'm sorry, kid. You're too short to be funny. You never made it in this business.
You know what? But just shoot it. Waste like the way that the stage is set. Bobby, you've been there, so you know. It's if you're 5 feet tall and it's in the backdrop, the wording usually comics block it. He's not blocking any of the wording.
It is some
so
tall
it's just like,
wording.
Yeah, it was just like I don't know. It didn't work. I would have if I listened to it. I think I would have liked it. But it was all vaccine stuff. There was like a lot of Fauci.
Well, it is topical. I guess you got to get that out.
Especially in his world, because he's more known in the conservative world than all that shit. You know what I mean? So that's just who he is. I haven't really watched too many conservative comics perform.
Makes sense.
So it's kind of, I like watching the angle that I wouldn't have got. Not that I'm like super on the other side or anything like that, but I just don't talk about it. But for someone to be like going that route, usually when a comic is talking about Trump, they're not going to go like hard into like he's the best. And it's like kind of funny to watch that. You know what I mean? Like, and see how the audience goes with it. Because it's not like he's Chris Rock where the audience is like, oh my God, it's Chris Rock. We know everything's going to say we're on board. Yeah. You don't know what they're going to get out of it. So I like the fact he took chances and did stuff, but at the same time, like either be taller or stop it. You know what I mean? Like that's basically my advice.
Very actionable advice.
I think it's great. You told me more positive. Grow. I believe that he could grow. See, Chris,
that's good. See, that's good affirmation thinking.
I think that's the same advice my dad gave me about basketball.
Grow.
Either stop it or grow.
Nice. Or get black. Did he say that? Can you be black for like a minute?
No, he didn't see color.
Well, was he okay?
Yeah.
My daughter can't see. She's colorblind. She can't see color, but she knows what a black guy is. So like, oh, there he is. They see that color. They see Puerto Rican.
It's because from day one, red. you were conditioning her. You were like, no.
What do you mean no?
That's how you were conditioning your daughter. That's
you mean like
being colorblind?
My daughter wasn't like a sexually active baby, so I didn't talk to her about sex at all then.
Well, look at you. Who's a bad parent by 2022 standards, huh?
Me.
All right, Chris, give us all your thoughts on politics, the vaccine, and Tyler Fisher. You're up, buddy.
I did it. We did it all. I also did that because Chris was like, we're not going to talk shit, right? So on purpose, I just went hard. Just I like to watch the guy. Some guys will say, I'm not going to do it, and then they go hard. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, fishing. But I like that you didn't do it. Good job. Tyler, go check out his special. It was good. It was fine. I had to take breaks, but like it was fine.
What's the name of this? Let's plug the whole special. What's the name of the special that this
the new normal
has put out?
Fauci
the new normal.
So it's even that very hard. You know what I mean? It's like it's even that push of what you do first is go type in Tyler Fisher, Bill Burr, see how tremendous his impression is, and then go watch it, and then be like, "Well, how come he's not doing the impression?" No, I'm saying, no, but it's like I'm just saying he's great, and I've known him for a long time. He's like, Bobby, when I've talked about like all the compound comics that I knew when I used to do like Greenwich Village Comedy Club and all the guys that are on there, he was in that little group too of people I would
he still
perform
comes
there. So
by
I've
all
known
the
him for a
time.
long time. So it's cool to see from like doing those shit shows to get recording and having and I've known his managers. His manager used to be an open mic comic at Chokers Wild, and now he's been running these huge. He was helping run a comedy club. He's been putting on all these crazy things. So it's cool to watch that guy grow. He was from Fairfield as well.
Wasn't he the trivia guy for a while?
Tyler Fisher?
Yeah, like that trivia game everybody played. It'd be fun to watch him do it now and just be like, who
was that him or was that Matt Richards? They both did it.
They both did it. Who won the 2022 election? And everybody puts in Biden. He's like, no, got you guys. It's a lie. Mike Lindell's coming this Saturday, and he's going to bring Donald back.
Yeah, you know what? I think there should be a comic on that side too. It's just, I don't know. He should be taller. That's my only advice.
I have no issue. I just thought it would be funny.
I just think he should be taller. That's my only issue. I'm not that tall, but I can block words on the stage.
Yeah, what's your excuse?
You should be able to block a couple words.
You got all
I've seen videos of Chris performing. I've never seen the words in the back because he can block it. He's doing well.
Not to keep going
Dude,
back.
I'm doing well. I made it to 5'10". I'm doing well in life.
You did it. You did it.
I did it.
It's a good height. It's not too crazy where someone goes, what are we going to do here?
I'd like to be 6. I think I was so close. If I just had that extra 2 inches with 6 foot, I think I could. I wouldn't have to do comedy. I'd be like a CEO. Life would
Do
be
you
so much
lie
better.
though? Do you lie sometimes?
No, I mean it's like why would I lie? It's pretty obvious. Like when you see me, I'm 5'10". I can't.
Same here.
There's enough people that are 6 foot. So if I'm like I'm 6 foot, and I'm standing next to a guy who's like 6. It's gonna be pretty obvious, you know.
Well, I've done that where I've said, someone's like, how tall are you? I'm like 5'11". They're like, just say 6. I'm like, well, the guy next to me is 6. So
Yeah,
then he
exactly.
has to say 6'1", and then it just gets weird. Like we're
but
all
if
just
that
bumping up. It's like
if that dude next to you is a bro, he's gonna say, "Yeah, I'm 6'2". My man's 6 feet.
What does 6 foot do? Like when you say that, it's not like it's an accomplishment.
Well, because when you're
poor,
it's just a magic number. That's what, for whatever reason, society's agreed. Like that's the perfect height is 6 foot for a man.
I don't know. Almost like if you're 6 foot, then I'm like, be 6'2". Like
No, because once you get two, then you get too tall.
Every inch above 6 feet takes 10 years off your life.
Wow.
Oh, that seems excessive.
I thought that was the pound thing. Every 10 pounds over 250 was that.
It works in both directions.
So if you're like a 6'6" dude who's like 400 pounds, you're
fucked. You see
You're
any,
Ralphie
you see
May.
any
You died years
defensive
ago.
ends making it to
That's
90
true.
years old? No.
You just described Ralphie May, Patrice O'Neill, all these dead guys.
I'm just
Don Candy.
being alive forever. I'm under that weight. I'm under 6 foot. I'm just gonna rock out till I'm 90, just miserable. This sounds awful.
Yeah, you're gonna be Barry Rib.
You could start doing good drugs.
I used to do drugs. I can't do those anymore.
So you did good. I also gave up. I never really did drugs ever. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. I quit drinking 6 years ago. So I will be like 90 and a curmudgeon, you know. And if people are like, you have good skin. It's like,
They took the drink away from me. It was the last thing I had. They took it away, and now I just got to be sober and live like another 60 years. I don't know, man. That's so.
I like the way you said it better than mine. Like, my only addiction is coffee. That's what I say to people. I don't know. It's like, and then they're like, we don't have any. I'm like, well, then I guess I have to kill you. It's like,
I even kind of had to stop that because I was drinking like 5 energy drinks a day, and my sponsor's like, dude, this is kind of like use behavior. Maybe you should stop doing that. Like, fuck, you're right. God damn it.
But at least, like it's not weird, but at least you're filling a void. Like I get that. Like at the beginning, I drank coffee because I wanted something in my hand when I was at a bar or doing a show, because I used to have a drink in my hand. So I just need something there, but I also just like coffee. But
so Chris is you respect Chris because he's filling an emotional void, while you were literally filling a physical void in your hand.
No, it's not. That was not the thing I was saying.
I'm just checking.
I filled an emotional void when I was first got separated. Then I just dated another woman. And I called her the emotional void. I used to fill her all the time. And what I'm saying is, I like
apparently
that Chris
not
did
with
that.
Self-respect.
Yeah, not at all. So I did that way because I'm trying to fill it in. Chris did it because of that. I know people that will just never drank or had an issue and just drink 12 energy drinks. And it's just like, you're just doing it to do it. Like you just want to kill your heart will explode. Like Chris was doing it because it's like, I need something else, not because like I'm a baby and I can't drink coffee.
Because you drink too much coffee. Like I tried that originally. And by like cup 4 of coffee, you just want to throw up. Like it really just fucks up the stomach. But for whatever reason, you can have like 7 energy drinks in a day and you don't feel great, but you can do it. I don't recommend it.
You're gonna have a
I'm the opposite. I think if I had one energy drink, I would like cry. I drink black coffee and I drink like 8 cups a day sometimes. And it doesn't even keep me awake.
That explains a lot, Pat. That explains a lot about you that you're 8 cups deep every day.
Every day. When you see me at an open mic, I'm fucking revving. And I'm mad because the bar doesn't have coffee. Like Elbow Room was like, you want a double shot of espresso? I'm like, no one needs me on that. All right, I'll just take a walk. I don't need it. And they give it to a shot glass too. I'm like, don't make me more of a baby. I quit drinking. I don't need a shot glass full of espresso. And I'm down in it. People are like, what are you doing, Sambuca? I'm like, no, I'm a loser.
Well, I'm curious, Pat, if you don't mind me asking, did you become a friend of Bill's? Did you go into the rooms or you just white knuckle it?
I just quit. And I've said this story too many times, but like basically short version of it is I didn't like the people alcohol made me hang out with.
That'll happen, yeah.
And it was especially the dating wise. I was dating people who like, I wasn't a big fan of me. And I was attracted when I drank to other people who kind of weren't a big fan of me either. Like they like to remind me of all my shortcomings. And then it was just like, when I started like liking myself more, I'm like, oh, if I don't drink, I like me. And I noticed that more. I noticed that someone's just nagging me all the time. So I got back together with an ex one night and she had drank 12 ciders on the ride home from Mohegan to my house in Ansonia, which is only an hour and a half. And she drank 12 goddamn ciders.
That chick sounds like she rules.
She did kind of rule, but like,
that's kind of awesome.
So the next, she passed out. We didn't even like hook up because she was like dead.
She went into a diabetic coma.
I know. The next day, I brought her a bottle of water, and she goes, "I haven't had one of these in 2 years." I was like, where are you from? Flint, Michigan? So then she just started like right away going, "Oh, you should do this. I thought you didn't have this in your house anymore." She right away woke up complaining. I was like, "Oh, you need to go." She's like, "Yeah, I got to go soon." I'm like, no, I mean like forever. And I quit drinking.
Forever.
And I said that. I said, I quit drinking. And then from that November will be 6 years. I just haven't drank.
Well, congratulations. It's awesome.
Thank you. I never liked the taste of alcohol. I never craved a beer. I liked the effects it had on me, except for when I got too drunk, I became too social and too friendly. I know it sounds like that's a good thing. It would make me, my anxiety and stress couldn't handle, hey, Chris, we got to hang out tomorrow. I make all these plans. And then the next day, I want nothing to do with those plans. And
well, that's why you wake up and you drink the next day. See, that's what you're doing wrong, Patty, is you got to be drunk all the time.
Those people always remembered, especially when at that point when I was drinking and booking a comedy club too, then I would like offer too many things to people. And then like 80 people wanted spots, but I only had 12. It's like, I didn't like me when I drank, but I was never that guy who was like, oh, hot day, I want a beer. I would have to hold my nose to drink the first 2 beers and then I could have 47 more.
Well, that's the true alcoholic in you.
Right. Oh yeah, I didn't. I almost feel worse for the ones who are like, but I just like the taste because they can't ever have it again. Like there's not one day in the 6 years where I've ever said I want to drink. I have never missed it.
Oh, I envy you.
Yeah,
that's not a day that goes by that I don't want a nice gin and tonic.
Oh really? Yeah, I drank. If I did alcohol, I did shots of whiskey. But I only did like rum and Coke. So I even drank like a gay baby. So it's like, it wasn't like a big deal. It was like, and I just drank Bud Light all the time, but I would drink like in college, I would drink like 2 30 packs a day. Like I was like the moron tough guy. Everybody just fed me beer because my whole personality was drinking. Like I was that guy, you know?
That's the cool guy to be in college though.
Yeah. But then I also, after college, still stayed around.
Well, that's, how it goes bad.
It's the victory lap of the guy whose personality is the guy who drinks beers.
Yeah. The guy who everyone said, you're so funny, you should do stand-up. And I'm like, am I allowed to drink 60 beers when I do stand-up? And then I've learned later on, yeah, a lot of them book stuff.
Depending on who you need, yeah.
I love doing shows with people that are hammered. I forget, and they start saying shit to me, and I'm like, oh, you're drunk. Because I forget that people are drunk. And then they start talking to me, and I'm like, oh, I don't even speak drunk anymore. They're like saying crazy shit at a show, and I'm like, oh, yeah, your mind's all goofy. I'm just here working on a penis joke, then going home. You're like, you're trying to rape or whatever you're doing. Like, I'm going to leave. Half of them are. You go to open mic, and they're like, look at that. I'm like, dude, go away. Like, what are you doing? So I'm kind of happy to be the old man who's like, watch out for that guy.
Come on.
That guy's ready to go. Stop it. It's not Avery. Avery's a wonderful man. Why would you say that? He's a wonderful man. Record. And according to
put the suspicion off himself, dude.
That's what it is.
All I'm gonna say is maybe somebody shouldn't have said their Dick's jokes were funnier. I don't know.
They both work at Dick's Sporting Goods, and that Bobby's mad because Avery has a better Dick's joke.
I find that hard to believe.
It's a pretty good joke. You both have quality Dick's jokes.
It's fantastic.
Avery got a good laugh from his opening joke.
But there's some real resentment there on Bobby's end. That wasn't even a joke. I saw it in the eyes.
Yeah. Well, because he didn't like it come from me. You're both good at what you do.
Yeah, no. It's cool. They're just levels.
Both very funny.
Yeah, that little at the end there, that was nice.
Yeah. It's like,
they're just some levels.
Yeah,
you know,
they're levels. That was
levels of dicks. Yeah, like the second floor. That's where the golf is, right? There.
That guy's not even a manager.
Bobby's a specialist, by the way. He doesn't have to.
Okay.
He just does it. Avery's just some fucking. I don't know what they call them. They're called jocks. What do you? I know they call the customers athletes. What are the employees called?
Like the employees in general, or specifically Avery?
God, how dare you?
Starts with an R. No, I think teammates. That's what.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's even worse. Oh,
we're all a team here.
Yeah, but that's all. That's Avery's joke. The whole thing about the athletes part. But it's funny. He got a big laugh. He does good. He had to go first in a contest. That sucks. You know what I mean? When you have to go first, it's tough. Because everybody kind of sets the bar from you. You become the first thing, and then everyone judges based off what you did type deal. So that could be tough. Chris, when you're in the contest, I'll be hosting that one in 2 weeks. I saw.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm excited for that. Yeah.
So was I. I was happy to see that. And I think I know more people on that show. I think Mo Green's in that one.
Yeah, he's up there, I think.
And then,
I don't know if any more Connecticut people are on that one.
I don't think there's any more Connecticut. I think there's a couple more like Mass and stuff, but it should be a good one. It was fun. It's fun when you guys get to do 10 minutes now and actually do your act a little bit, not just cram 5 in.
Well, I got a new 10 I'm going to do up there, so we'll see how that works.
You don't have to do a new 10, just so you know.
Yeah, just, we'll see how it goes.
A lot of them are like, they'll remember it. I go, they won't remember anything.
They've seen 200 sets since me. I know they won't remember it. But
well, they also just don't listen.
Yeah.
You're just like staring. Look at the lady in the third row has got big tits. Like, all right, that's not a judging thing.
If that's what it takes for me to win, they can look at that lady's tits as much as they want.
My hosting style is fun because I don't really do time between because you shouldn't. I think that ruins a contest to keep the momentum the same for everybody. But you have to tell the people that are judging in the audience the names again. So if you go, I'm like, once again, Chris Warren. And I was like, it's to the C, not that fucking matters. And they're kind of writing. I make fun of them. But this guy Tyler Hittner's in it. He moved on, and he's got like a wheel walker. Like he's got like so he's not wheelchair, but he's got
fucking
goofy legs.
Prop comic.
Yeah. I've known him forever. So I bust his balls. I go, way to milk the legs again. It's like so when he went up and he did his thing, and everyone's cheering, I said, keep it going for Tyler, or you could just draw a wheel. One lady goes, that's fucked up. I go, fucked up as you wanted to make it. If you looked at the chart and saw the wheel, you'd know which guy. She goes, you got a point. But yeah, we can move on now. That's it. And then there was an Asian guy, and I'm like, you could just draw COVID. I don't know, whatever you want to do. So I was like, how do you draw COVID? I'm like, we used to know.
In a needle?
He was funny too, but that guy, and I'm not going to, this isn't me talking shit. This is a real thing that I don't understand. He talked, I shouldn't call it regular style, but he talked regular style in the back. And then he went on stage and he had like an Asian accent. I'm like, come on, man. Don't do that.
He talked regular style.
He did. He spoke regular style. And then he went out there and it was like a broken English for the act. Then he went back off because he told me how to say his name. And it was just like perfect English when he said it to me. Then he goes on stage. He's like, oh, wrong time. It's like, nah, come on, man.
Hold on. Devil's advocate. Maybe this voice on stage is his real voice. And he dolls it up for white guys like you to make you comfortable.
No, because I watched him talk to all kinds of folks out there, and he was like giving directions and stuff in good English. There was no subtitles. It was great. And then he went on stage and it was just like, oh, he was fighting guys.
Pat, I think you should do a full impression. What do you sound like on stage?
Oh,
he will.
If you don't know this podcast, Chris, I do it every show. Like, I am known for my one thing, and it's a really bad Asian accent that I do constantly that people are probably waiting for me to do. So, yeah.
Oh, no, I should have done more research before I agreed to this.
I do 2 impressions, and both of them are the most cancelable things humanly possible. So I don't do them on stage. I do my Asian one now when I talk about going to a Chinese buffet because they're gone. And I talk about how it's I go to them because of the stereotype. Everyone embraces it. You know what I mean? When you walk in, it's just everything you want in the stereotype. And the guy going, hello, and then doing the whole fucking voice. But yeah, I'll leave them alone today. I don't want to talk shit about the Asians. They're good people. Not all of them, but like
not like Tyler Fisher, that alt-right short comic who ruined your day.
He ruined my day because then I watched like Are You Garbage episode with Tim Dillon, and I laughed after that, so it was good.
It should just be a one screen that just says yes.
Yeah, it was. He was perfect. All right, you Bobby, you got anything before I do a story?
Sure. Do you want to play a game?
Yes,
or do you want to do a story first?
No, let's do a game.
All right, so a little bit before the show, you gave Chris the backstory of my hit show for Nickelodeon, 15 or 19. And kind of like Chris noted, it got a little risque for the Nick at Night family audience, but they like the creativity. So we actually have a new fun game we can play called Lover or Fighter. And Chris, what this is we take your significant other, right, and you get shown a person, and you have to decide if they're a lover or a fighter. And if they're a lover, it's a female porn star you get to watch make love to the woman of your dreams. And if it's a fighter, then they beat up if you get it wrong. So if you get it right and it's a lover, you win. But if you get it wrong and it's a fighter, you lose.
Okay, so I guess if they're a porn star or if they're like a UFC fighter.
Yeah, but we got to use the terms lover or fighter. We're really focused on the branding here.
Okay.
All right.
We'll stay on brand.
We will start with this one. Let me just get this going.
So wait, I don't know this game. Like, you're looking for it, but like, so Chris doesn't get to sleep with them. His significant other sleeps with them?
Yeah.
So how does he win?
He gets to watch.
Well, I think if I had a significant other, I'd already be winning. So this is a
right,
great
but then
scenario
you
already.
Them, you finally got them, and now they get to make out with better people?
Like, you know what, Pat? I like your style.
Well, better. Now you're putting a judgment on me. That kind of hurts my feelings.
I think Chris should be able to like sleep with the porn star or get beat up by a UFC woman because he might like either.
That's
I think
fair.
I'd be into both, quite honestly.
Yeah.
That is.
If I could have the UFC woman beat me up and then make love to like my bleeding body, I think that'd be great.
Or what if you make love to the UFC fighter and get beat up by a porn star? That could be fun too.
Well, then you know what? Let's change the game a bit. We'll show
I
you.
didn't mean to change the game.
No. I like it. We'll show you 3 images, and you have to select the one. And if it's a lover, then you get to fuck the porn star. If it's a fighter, then you got to defend yourself. And I don't know what the third option's going to be.
Both?
I don't know what the
both?
third option.
There might be both out there.
There's definitely both.
There's definitely got to be some both.
Well, that kind
there
of
is because there's that whole genre of porn that's like wrestle lady, which I don't know why people watch that. But I saw that when I was on Kumia once, and it was like you're fighting a lady, and then she gets you in a figure four, and you fuck her. I'm like, what's wanting this? Oh, I don't want fighting him a fucking.
Well, that's the game. We got to the punchline before it even started. So that was lover or fighter. The punchline was both. There was a both. But we made it. It's all good. It happens.
If you showed it, why? You're the only one that revealed the punchline.
You ruined the game, Pat. I hope you're happy.
I am.
You just saved us 10 minutes. It's fine.
How did I ruin it? Nobody would have
Bobby
known.
worked
I just said
really hard on that, and you just shit all over it, man.
Wait, you've never watched a movie with someone and they yelled out the ending, but you're like, you don't say, "Oh, you ended it." You knew the ending. You just keep watching.
I get up and I never
confront
talk to that
them.
person
Yeah,
again.
I go, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They're excited.
You ruined it. No, they're not excited. They're autistic. They couldn't hold in their excitement and follow standards of society.
Autistic people don't get excited about it.
They do. Have you ever seen one when like something's watch Rain Man when everything hits spills?
That's old. That's cancelable autism. You need new ones now.
Well, then
That's
tell
not-
my friend Alex his autism's canceled because I've seen that boy have a meltdown. Let me say this real quick. Speaking of my friend Alex, he used to act up, but he was brilliant at math. That's like his one area that he really nails, that and NBA draft picks. But in 7th grade, anytime he would act up,
Brain is dumb.
the math teacher would make him do like 15 to 20 push-ups. And then like as the year got on, she would make him do more to fatigue him out. And it just really feels like she was creating a monster.
He's probably jacked by the end of that class.
Yeah, that's my point. Like dude was doing 30 push-ups 5 times a day. That's not. Now the guy who can't handle his emotional responses to things is also stronger than anybody who could try to subdue him.
You're just doing CrossFit, getting ready.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing burpees and shit, getting fucking ripped for his meltdown.
Did anyone else get disciplined?
Not like that.
I like that teacher, just the tired one.
Yeah.
Make them work. You got to make them all do stuff.
I remember in 8th grade, she guilted me into trying out for the mathlete team.
Oh, boy.
And I lost by 1 point. And she was like, man, if only I could have gotten you from 6th grade on, you would have been great. And I just looked at her and was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, would have been great as a mathlete?
You wouldn't be doing this podcast. You'd be at the Nationals right now.
Thank God. Fucking thank God.
But wait, what a shitty person, like, telling you have potential. And instead of going, you know what, I know you're 1 point off, but I can work with you and I can help your life. She goes, you could have been something, but fuck you. And it's like, and that's still in your brain right now. Like,
you were this close, kid. It was really been something.
It helped me. Nah.
It was me and another kid. And it was like that South Park episode where they just want to lose in baseball because they don't want to do it anymore. And both of us were just hoping the other one won. And when I found out I lost by 1 point, I was like, that's about as close as I could get. She also had cancer, so it was like, man, if only they had caught your cancer 6 months earlier, this probably would have been a more fun conversation.
It's close. You could have been something if we caught your cancer 6 months earlier. But
She's
you didn't
fine.
make it.
She's ruined many more kids' lives.
She's still alive?
She made it, yeah.
Oh, good. Good for her. Guess who didn't make it? You. She beat cancer, but you couldn't beat that one fucking guy in that math debate, whatever.
It's cool.
No, you should have been stronger. She beat cancer, and you couldn't even beat what? Was he Asian at least?
No, we were both late for basketball practice.
Oh,
nobody really cared about math.
Yeah, if you beat another basketball player,
it was like the
math,
cancer teacher was like, "Will you please try out for my team?" And then was like, sorry, you weren't good enough for my team." It's like, fuck you.
The cancer teacher. I like that. What do you teach? I don't know.
She taught math. Then we had this English teacher who was like, if I ever have a seizure, just clear all the desks around me. And we all hated her. And we're like, I fucking hope. I flicked those lights every day. Hey, Mrs. G.
So she just, I like that at least she prepared you guys rather than just have a seizure. But it's kind of crazy. She's like, every day, she's like, hey, get the desk ready.
This could be the day.
It's like, I'm
someone get their wallet ready. You're going to need to put it in my mouth so I don't swallow my tongue.
Again, I was praying. So, all right, she ran this speech contest. And she made us go like every day after school and practice with her. And then the day of the contest happens. And the kid who should have taken third place cried. Like, he didn't do a good speech. He got done, started crying halfway through. And because it was the Optimus kit contest, they chose that kid as the winner because it would do the most good. And that kid grew up to become Nikado Avocado, the guy who's eating himself to death on YouTube. And I just like to think maybe if somebody in 7th grade had been like, no, you can't always get what you want, Nick, we wouldn't have to deal with that today.
He's eating himself to death.
Yeah, you guys don't know who that is. Give me 1 second.
No, I know who it is. I didn't know he was from your town.
Yeah, he went to my school. His real name is
that's
Nick
a real
Perry.
story.
Yeah. The reason
Usually
why
Bobby lies, but I felt that one was
no,
real.
this is 100% real.
If Bobby was lying, he would have come in first.
Fuck you, Mrs. Giuliano. I hope you get cancer like Mrs. Glime had. Boom. Now I doxed them both. No, yeah, he was in my class, and the reason why he eats is to fill the void in his heart because his parents put him up for adoption, and the foster family really didn't like him. Like, they just literally would be like, oh, you're into this now? Cool. We'll buy you the most expensive version and, like, the highest level of lessons just so we don't have to hang out with you.
Well,
and I kind of feel bad
that sound a lot worse. That sounds pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised. It wasn't that bad. You know, my dad didn't talk to me other than to call me gay, but, like, I had a cool camera.
What are you pursuing?
Well, I'm doing this now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So
it's clearly you're trying to fill something out. Yeah, exactly.
At least he called you gay. That's nice.
Well, the irony is he ended up being gay. So
that's what he was doing.
That was the fun flip.
Oh, that's a fun twist.
As he would just like bust in my room and was like, how come I never see you hanging out with girls? And I'm like a fucking nerdy, weird kid building computers and like making weird art films. And I'm like, well, girls don't really like me. He's like, you're gay. And would leave. He's been blowing dudes the whole time.
He was just so badly begging for you to be like, I like boys, so he could be like, me too. And then just come out to you right then and there. But no, each time, like, I don't know. I like computers.
Even now, he's out and he's like a cool dude. We've had our problems in the past. But he's a cool dude. We're on a good wavelength. But like I think he would still to this day be very upset if I turned out to be gay.
That's crazy, but I get that.
Like as a flamboyant gay man wearing like a flower silk shirt with like women's jewelry on, he'd be like, "No son of mine is gay," and like sashay away from the table if that ever happened.
I sucked those cocks so you wouldn't have to, Chris.
I want it better for you. I didn't want you to live this life.
All my sacrifices.
I know. I want to say neither of my parents would have cared if anyone was gay, but I definitely know they would have. But they would have just like passive aggressively brought up like why it was their fault. You know what I mean? Like that. That's where the generation I was raised from.
Yeah.
The whole time would have been like, I remember that time we must have had you hold the flowers too long or something. It's like, it's like, no, I'm not gay. I was always accused of being on drugs as a kid, but never accused of being gay.
We should never let you watch Mad TV. I knew it was bad for you.
I remember like gay was even like, it was weird to even say the word because then people were like, no, they get scared. Like also whatever. I'm so old that when I was growing up, if somebody was considered gay on TV, they were like a man in a dress. Like that was gay. Like it's a joke. Like he must be gay because he's a lady. It's like they don't like ladies at all. That's why they're gay. Like they don't want to be a lady at all. But I remember my grandmother, we were watching something on TV that came on, and Liberace came on the TV. And I was like 8 or 9 years old, and they broke out like a candelabra, and he had like the full cape, and he's playing a piano. And I looked at my mom and said, "Is that what gay is?" And I was, because I've been told
that what gay is.
And my grandmother got mad and goes, "How dare you say that word in my house? He is not gay. Liberace's a wonderful man that any woman would be happy to make her husband." I'm like, he wouldn't be happy. And I got yelled at. It's like, I know that's gay. I don't even know what gay is, but that's it.
You clocked it. His
Yeah,
radar was on point.
That's what that is.
I think if I had told my dad I was gay, his response would have been something along the lines of, like, "Cool, dudes aren't gonna fuck you either, Bob. You aren't anything until you actually act on it. Get out there and do something." Wow, that's a
go-getter. I kind of respect that.
Well, that's like, I've had friends that say they're bisexual, and it's like, well, I've only seen you with one. I mean, you can say what you want, but you are what you eat. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can just keep your options open, but you're just fucking guys, dude. I think you say the bi part, so people like your friends that can't handle it. It's kind of like a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, it's like they can do the mental gymnastics in their head, like, well, oh, my friend, whatever isn't like, he's not really gay. Like, he fucks chicks sometimes. So you justify it to them.
I remember there was a friend of mine who came out and
that's why he's no longer your friend. I get it.
Fuck you. So a circle of friends, people, I was a friend, but acquaintances that knew each other.
Acquaintances. Well, now it started friend, and then you mentioned he came out. Now he's an acquaintance.
No, the guy who came out was a friend.
Okay.
People that we're talking about. I'm trying not to say it's a comic I know and these are other comics, but thanks. Anyway, so
I didn't make you say that.
God, I was so close to just being like, so the comic I think you're talking about's name.
Yeah.
I have no idea who you
Chris knows him too, and he's been on the podcast
about.
a million times. But I'm gonna tell a story about another terrible person, so I was trying to hide them and not name drop because it makes Chris feel weird. Anyway, the part I'm getting to is not who it was, it's what they said. So when they found out this person now like men, they always did, but we found out that they like men, their response was, "Do you think they want to fuck me?" I said, "What?" And he goes, "Well, he's gay, so do you think when he hangs out he wants to fuck me?" And I go, "Well, no. Wait, are you gay?" And he's like, "No." And I go, "Well, then why would he fuck you? Like, you would fuck, like."
Listen, Pat, there was no such thing as gay back in my day.
No, he's not gonna be. My whole thing was like, dude, are you gay? Because your first thought was this guy's gonna fuck you. Like, have you had anything inserted in you before? And he's like, "Well, no, I'm straight." I go, "Then why would your first instinct be like, that guy must have fucked you? You should be like, oh, he's gay. Does he want me to fuck him? Because you fuck things. You're straight." And he's like, "Oh, don't make me think I'm gay." That's what the guy's response was. Like, is that how gay works? One suggestion.
You can catch it. If you think a gay thought once, that's how they get you.
That's it.
That's why they have the pride parade. They're trying to recruit. You see something, you think like, "Ah, it doesn't look so bad." Year later, you're in the pride parade.
Which is why if I see
gay
something,
hypnotism. It's all
gay hypnotism. That's.
Which is why if I see something, I say something. Hey, there's a lot of fruits gathering out front, and they're doing some dancing. It looks like a hypnotism.
Stay away.
I think out of all the weird slurs for things, fruits was the weirdest one. Because it just like, I know for some people it ruined fruit. Like I know some people that are really straight, they're like so homophobic. They're like, no apples for me. No. They're gay.
Not even fruit. A phallic one. They just can't.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away, but it gets a cock up your ass. So what's the price at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? That's
Bobby,
why
I got a story,
shield.
Bobby, that relates to where you're from. Maybe he's like the avocado guy. Maybe you know this guy. It's a Pennsylvania driver. He admits to plowing into the crowd and then killing his mom with a hammer afterwards.
It's aggressive.
Yeah, a deranged. I like to start with deranged. Like we know the headline kind of told us. By the way, all our stories, Chris, come from the New York Post. It's the worst paper in the world. They don't. Sometimes this is actually a news story, but usually they just watch TikTok and then report on it. And that's usually what all their art writers do. A deranged Pennsylvania man is admitted to plowing his car into a crowd of people, killing one and wounding 17 others before he drove home and murdered his mother with a hammer. Do you know that guy, Bobby?
No.
He looks like an open mic guy.
Oh, that's Charles.
His name is Adrian Oswaldo Sura Reyes, which is long. I think he's just Adrian. 24-year-old. He looks terrible for 24. Wow. He's 24? He looks very old.
Well, he's right? Deranged.
I know some deranged people that don't look older.
I could see 24 because there aren't a lot of wrinkles on the fat face.
The haircut's kind of 24, I guess. But that
or
thing
is this
says
like
he's
one of
16.
those little league situations where he just says he's 24, but he's really 35?
Well, he's not Cuban. He's also he might be. He's a Reyes. He's a 24-year-old from Nescapic. Are you new there, Nescapic?
Never heard of it.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong. He reportedly got into an argument with his mother before hopping into a vehicle and driving to neighboring Berwick, where the mass casualty crash occurred, according to a criminal complaint. Basically, he got in a fight with his mom. He got mad. He got in the car. He was driving. He saw a bunch of people hanging out in front of a bar. He went, I'm mad at my mom. And then he just drove into the people. And then when they said to him, you were trying to kill those people, he's like, nah, I was just pushing them with my car. That was his response. Just pushing them.
Give him a little push.
Sometimes in life you need that. Like that teacher was trying to do to Bobby. You know what I mean? It's like, hey,
trying to bump him.
Could have been better. I give a little bump. But then in 10, he gathered fundraiser families. Was it? They try to tie in. I hate when they do that. They always go, another crazy thing happened. There was a fire in that town. It's like, don't tie in another story. Reyes told his police he was just tired of fighting with his mom. He barreled into the crowd at 6:15, killing one lady, Rebecca Reese, and sending others to the hospital. I probably should have said her name. I didn't ram into him. I just ran him over. That was the guy's thing. I used like ram. He's like, nah, you killed one. Obviously, you didn't just bump them. I mean, unless they were like weak. After the crash, Reyes drove back home. When he arrived, he saw his mother standing outside in the street. Cops said he floored the gas and crashed into her with the front of his car. He was doing a lot of damage with the fucking car. Like, he was really just GTAing the shit out of his life.
Well, it's like, I feel like we all have those urges when you're driving to just cut the wheel a little bit.
Bill Burr has a classic bit on that. It's like, I'm like 10 and 2. But once in a while, my mind is like, I didn't kill everyone. He's in the news. And like, you don't do it. But like,
this guy did it.
He didn't hear that punchline of the bit. He just heard the first part. It's like, Bill Burr said, it's okay. This is a complete tragedy in a community where there have already been tragedies. Like, I like how he kind of passes. He's like, this is bad, but we have other bad stuff. Like, troopers. It's like, why are you bringing the other stuff up? Like, just let it go. Was it Stranger Things? But like, he told police he got a hammer from his car and bashed his mother in the head 4 or 5 times afterwards to make sure she was dead. Okay, that's a whole different level. I was about to say it's one thing to hit your mom with a car, but it's another thing to then make sure it's. I guess I never hunted, but sometimes if you shoot something and you don't kill it, you're supposed to like put it down. Maybe he's like, well, I gotta put her down because he didn't get her with the first shot.
Yeah, if you hit a deer with your car, you're supposed to put it down. So
with a hammer?
I mean, whatever you got handy.
I mean, my first swing at a nail, I usually miss. Don't hit exactly square, right? He probably had to line it up again, make sure he got it right.
You know, like I hit a deer with my car once a few years ago, and I didn't know what to do. So I called my friend who lived down the road. He drove out, and I was like, Will, what do we do about this deer? And he just went over and slit its throat and was like, now it's out of its suffering. And I was horrified. I was not expecting that.
I would have thrown up on the side of the road.
I mean, I cried a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I already made a whole like thing about how we're gonna get the deer help. The police are gonna come and splint up its leg. It's gonna be fine. He just slits his throat right in front of me. And I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? He's like, now put on these gloves. Help me move it off the road. Like,
oh God, no! I'm not helping.
Why?
No.
And he's like, I can't do this alone. You called me out here at 1 a.m. Help me move this fucking deer. Throwing it down inside of a ditch like it's the mob.
You should have thought about my help before you didn't give me a warning when you slit that deer's throat, you psycho.
When this guy was being led to court at 3 a.m., reporters were there, and they put a mic in his face, and he just went, "Sorry." That was
at least he's apologetic.
That's the quote. Sorry.
At least he knows he did something wrong. That's more than a lot of people on a trial for stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, who even knows if he knows he's sorry? Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it our boy here who rammed people with his car? He was trying to push him. He's obviously deranged. Something's wrong with him. You see that picture? Well, he shouldn't be. Chris, let me get through I'll do the whole thing, and then you hammer at him. Is it going to be him for he's deranged, whatever? Yeah, he got a fight with his mom. We've all gotten mad and stuff. You would have thought that maybe he would have gotten that out of him by ramming 17 people, but I guess he was still mad and had to go take it out on his mom. Is it his mom? Okay, you know your son's deranged. Maybe check the car for a hammer. Maybe take his light. If he gets mad at you, maybe take his keys. Maybe like fool him with like one of those like a pointer lights or something. He seems like somebody you can distract easy. Don't let him go out into the world and ram people, something like that. Is it those 17 people? You know what I mean? A car's coming. You can get moved. I don't know how big the car was, but 17 people shouldn't get hit by it. Like after like 1 or 2 are getting hit, you've got to get a little moving going. I know it was in front of a bar, but it was at 5:30. It wasn't 2 a.m. It was 5:30 p.m. It's light out. You should see a deranged guy coming. I mean, one guy goes, "Holy shit, is that car coming for us?" He gets hit, but I would have been out of the fuck. I would have thrown other people in the way, but I would have gotten out of the way. And it would have been fine. Is it the police for like kind of handcuffing him and letting him be on the news, telling everyone he's deranged? Someone's saying that, like for them to know, they're like, look at this retard. Like, just arrest the guy. He bashed his mother with a hammer. Or is it that trooper who was like, yeah, our town's had tough times. Not just this. We got retards with hammers all over the place. Like, why are you downplaying this? Someone's going to play him on Netflix. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Chris, you go first.
You know, we don't know what was happening with the mom. What if the mom was molesting him all the time?
Yeah, all the time.
And brutalizing him, and he just finally snapped. You know, it might have been one of those situations. So I might say it's on the mom. We don't know what horror house. Maybe they'll do more investigate the house, and there's like a room where he was waterboarded every night, and like, you know.
Or what if the mom was molesting him, and he liked it, and then one day she was like, I don't like you anymore. I'm going to go molest 17 other people in front of that bar. And that's what he was so mad at them. He's like, I'll take them out so I get all the molesting.
It was a lover's quarrel. I get that. Wanting to kill the new guy. I get that.
No, I definitely get I'm with you though on the mom thing. Like it's at that point, 24 years old, there's a screw loose or something there. And obviously the mother is responsible for now. People can say like, where's the father? Well, when you find out your kid's avatar, you take off. But like maybe that was the dad's hammer. Maybe he was like, listen, before I left, this is what I used to take care of her.
maybe the mom's checked out too. Maybe she's got a few screw loose herself.
Oh, it usually works that way. The other one's not usually like a Harvard scholar.
That'd be great if it was. She was.
It's mother was Nancy Pelosi. But like, yeah, it's definitely. Yes, when someone hurts someone and kills someone and injures them, are they responsible? Sure, to a degree. I mean, if you want to really blame someone, one of the people I should have said should be up for discussion is the DMV. Maybe this guy shouldn't have a license. You know what I mean? You yell at, they won't give me one because one time I was drunk and they said because I left the keys in the goddamn car and I went to sleep, or I took the keys out of the car, I went to sleep. They couldn't take my blood alcohol content, so I have to prove I don't have narcolepsy. When I just said, hey, I was drunk, but they won't take that. But this tard can run around playing GTA with people. Anyway, that's my own story. I agree with you. I think it's the mom. Bobby?
I don't think it's the mom.
What?
I do think she could have intervened, but like you said, the apple usually doesn't fall far from the tree. So I'm guessing she was dealing with her issues as well. Now, another little thing happened in PA recently, which is the FBI seized Scott Perry's phone while he was on vacation with his family in an ambush. And it's like, maybe if the FBI had been paying a little attention to this psychopath, we could stop the incidents before they happen. You're spying on all of us. You're telling me there aren't signs that this bowling ball of a human being was going to snap? Come on. He's on 4chan. He's posting Pepe memes. He's on the incel Reddit boards. Like, there were signs. Nip this in the bud.
Maybe because he's retarded. Maybe he just thought that's where his parking was. You know what I mean? Like,
well, no, he was like Bobby said, he was a bowling ball. He was going for a full strike.
Right, without a doubt. But maybe he was. People. Maybe you know, handicapped people get better parking. Maybe
Turkey!
He thought his parking was the sidewalk, and they were in the way. Retarded people do love bowling.
Everyone loves bowling.
Everyone.
Not everyone.
Retards.
They do love bowling. Chris, you've never seen them bowl? They love it. They're so happy. They get shoes and a ball. They're fired up.
Is it like the same level as WWE excitement for them, or is it? It's
kind of both. They love WWE, and by the way, so do I. I'm part retarded, but like they love WWE because those are their heroes. But even they know they can't wrestle. They love bowling because it's a sport even they can do, except their giant hands don't fit in the hole. They have to get like a separate, or they palm it. I've seen them palm it. I actually know a guy who was he actually is a Special Olympian, 2-time gold-winning bowler. And now he also golfer, and he teaches other retarded people how to be good at golf.
Dude, that guy probably crushes puss in that community.
He's
unintentional.
He's getting married.
He's like, he just doesn't know how to manage his weight. I do feel like you got to understand, Chris, this is basically the pinnacle of physics for that community. Like, that is their Apollo program they are experiencing rolling the balls down the field. They got a gutter ball. They're like, oh, no, Apollo 13. Quick, somebody build a bowling lane here.
I remember when I was in college and we would go on Monday nights in Hampton, Connecticut, there was a bowling alley that would have like $2 pitchers of beer on Monday nights. So our whole rugby team would go. We'd get like 6 lanes. We'd just get hammered. But 2 of the lanes always had just retarded people coming on a shuttle. And it was the best. Like they would come over. We'd fill their beer when their handler or whatever they're called, their Sherpa wasn't watching. We would pour them beers and they would get drunk and they would start throwing bowling balls against the wall. It's fucking great. They love it. So I can see one of them, if they got a hold of the shuttle or whatever, they drive them in like the cart or whatever. And when they get them in the cart, if they were going to drive, they'd probably run us over in the front just thinking it was fun. Like they were just like, a retard driving a car hitting you with it is like them high-fiving you. They're kind of like, hey, they don't realize that a car is not a hand. So like,
car is not a hand.
You learn one thing from this show: a car is not a hand.
Car is not a hand. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna put that on my bulletin board of positive affirmations.
Believe in yourself. A car is a hand.
Yeah, it's like, did you stay sober today? Did you do a set of comedy? Did you write? Also, a car is not a hand.
Oh, you just wrote Ben Ortiz's latest Facebook post. That's perfect. Ben's been on the show many times. But
I love Ben Ortiz so much.
The other day, he wrote a whole thing, and it always ends in, and then I wrote to more women in prison. I was like, keep on keeping on, Ben.
Dude, I might have to hit him up about that, dude. I might got to get a prison babe, dude. That could be the
Well, he messaged me. He goes, I had to break up with her. She was getting too clingy. I think she's a gold digger. You're the best, dude. You're the fucking best.
Ben Ortiz is the fucking goat.
I've been watching him forever. Or is the other piece of shit Ben Ortiz? Ben Ortiz, if he knew this guy, they could have made a buddy movie and it would have been great. I think the piece of shit is the mom, Bobby. I don't know why I want to blame the parent. I can't blame him. I should. I don't know. When someone's like, the second there's a mental issue there,
we could blame God. Right? Would a just God create a guy who?
No, Hashem makes no mistakes. It says mortals that mess it up.
Sorry, Pat.
But Bobby, you kind of got something there. It's not. Maybe it was God didn't like those 17 people, so he sends one of his. You ever look at an angel? It just looks like a little retard with wings. So it's like they don't have wings here, so they just give him a car.
Somebody's studying the data. He's like, oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. God really does hate fags. They were all gay.
There was nowhere in the report that said they were gay, but like, who knows?
Well, no, was it a gay bar? We don't know. They didn't say what kind of bar it was.
One of them.
You saw a rainbow flag and started raging out.
Bobby, do you know that area? Are there gay bars there?
Where in Pennsylvania is this?
Bobby knows where all the gay bars are.
No, like, does it even give you a region?
No.
Because let's be honest, everything outside of Philly and like the actual city of Pittsburgh is Pennsylvania. So there really aren't any gay bars in between those two. So if it's not one of those, maybe not.
He got no bail. He was denied bail and is lodged in the Columbia County Correctional Facility.
In his defense, he tried to pay his bail in macaroni.
Are they worried he was going to sonic roll away if they let him out?
Oh God! Oh God!
He was blaring that music. Bah, bah, bah.
Who let him get
the 17 wounded victims? The newspaper confirmed that 15 of them are fine.
Well, that's good.
Well, we already know one's dead. So
that one is are they dead or are they just not fine?
Not confirmed. 5 are in critical condition. 2 are in fair condition. Where 5 other victims were just treated and released. And then one's just on the loose. One's still in the grill of the car. Just like, yeah, let me out.
Houston, I don't want concern, but the bowling ball experiment failed. He crashed. Crashed real bad.
What?
2 people are dead, 5 critically injured.
What if he was just like, I'm making more me's?
We need to.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I was 5 and I was fine, and the guy ran me over playing kickball. Now I'm this. So I'm going to go make some more me's. And he's just driving around hitting them.
We need to rerun the simulation at the bowling alley.
I like you said rerun, because that's the only run he can do is a rerun.
Aw. Thanks for taking the heat off of me.
Bobby said that's their physics. Why cross the line?
Hey, you say something like that again, I'm walking.
Yeah, don't do this to my new friend Chris.
Who's not walking? That one person, and I can't find them.
I am a woke icon in the comedy community, all right? Certain standard of treatment.
That's fine. You show me out somewhere on a form when you're getting a job that you can fill in retard as a race, and I'll change my view. So the piece of shit is, I mean, I have to give the New York Post credit. That's like that's that first time in a while it's been a news story. That's legitimately a news story.
That somebody ran people over with a car?
You know, he murdered them, and then we're not giving enough credit to the fact that then he got a hammer and cracked his mom. And we're kind of like skirting. That's the craziest part, but that makes it a better story. You just hit people with your car. That's another Sunday. You get out of the car and you start. I mean, once again, I know we're using the word a lot, but that's retard strength. That's not regular hammer. That is full spazzy smashing. Like that's whack-a-mole. That skull's done. There's no way.
I mean,
that skull is done.
That's retro, right? Like the killing of your parents. That goes back to Greek times. Like in today's day and age, what would be the easy, hack thing to do? Oh, you just go shoot up a school. But no, he was like, I'm going to go vintage.
Yeah. We need more people to drive into schools. It would be safer in the long run. If you really think about it, shooting is expensive with bullets, but you get a car and just drive into a school, way better. And then you only hammer one person?
Or don't hammer anybody, and those kids are definitely getting out for the rest of the day, right?
Now you're going to tell people they can't hammer? You can't do that. No, the hammer community would get upset.
I was just saying, like, if you hit a school, all those kids are getting out of school for the day while they investigate what happened. You're doing them a favor. You're not hurting anybody.
But yeah, the car probably doesn't even make it through the front door.
Right.
You hit the front door, it stops.
Yeah.
The airbag goes off. You're probably knocked out, bleeding.
Exactly. You're fine. In the long run, they get you the help you need. Now your mom's not dead.
Worst case, you cause like $5,000 worth of damage to the school,
That they're embezzling anyway to cover up the superintendent's affair with some 17-year-old.
With that retarded guy's mother.
Oh, that'd be the best.
That's probably why I drove to the school.
Yeah. In our story that we just made up. Now people are like, wait, was this a school? Like,
I can't deal with the irony.
I just learned the word irony. All right, Bob, we'll end with one more story, but this will be more of a heartwarming one because that was a little much. Child Protective Service worker fired after allegedly telling 14-year-old girl to become a prostitute.
Heartwarming. Very heartwarming.
It's in Texas, so it makes sense right away. So it's like, kind of like the Florida stories right away when you hear that. Like, I get it. A Texas Child Protective Service employee lost her job after allegedly telling a 14-year-old girl to become a prostitute. Keisha Baisley, a Texas mother of 9, who turned to CPS to help with her 14-year-old daughter, told Fox 26 Houston that her child was running away and causing trouble at school, prompting her to call in family services. My daughter told me that the worker had been telling her she should do these things and she should also do drugs. And so the daughter was like, maybe I'll video her because these aren't the right things to say. Now, the daughter was staying at a hotel. I guess in Texas, a lot of times when the kids are having problems at home, they will bring them to like a hotel and make sure they're away and stuff like that. So it's even worse. She wasn't supervised.
Listen,
so
you want to keep staying here, I'm going to need you to put the hoe in hotel.
Basically, that's what we're doing here. The video allegedly shows an exchange between the teen and the CPS worker who reportedly tells the girl to be a prostitute and giving her an incentive to do so and almost threatening her to do it if she doesn't come back and find out she's been now a whore. She's like, you can get in more trouble if you're not being a whore by the time I come back. I guess that's kind of inspiring. I don't know. It's like, I'm giving you something to work for.
Yeah, it is like a goal.
If me, the parent, was to do something like this to my child, I'd be bashed, she said. But this lady could just tell her to be a hooker. I like that the mother was like, wait, I can't do this. You can? I wanted to tell her to be a hooker first. It's like, I'd be called a horrible parent. I would lose my kids. Lady, you kind of are.
Yeah, you are. They're already there.
You're a little delusional, lady. Like, CPS is talking to your kids as it is. The fact that they had this conversation enough times where she can videotape the next one kind of tells us that you are losing one of your 9 kids. So, Baisley filed an official complaint with CPS. The agent's commissioner reportedly went to Houston from the Lone Star State to apologize to Baisley and her daughter. Well, that helps. It's like, oh, good, the commissioner's here. Sorry, we told you to be a hooker. This should not happen to girls in their care. She said this should not happen. It's unacceptable. I've never seen that happen before where the commissioner of CPS comes in from Austin just to apologize. Said another guy part of the group, it's bad enough if just one bad rogue worker. It concerns me if maybe bigger than that if they're out here now apologizing, running around like apologizing for all the bad protective child services workers. They're saying that they're going to fire this person. Nothing else should be tolerated. And the girl is in good care as it is now. Who's the piece of shit of the story? Is it the worker for saying, hey, you should be a prostitute? Now, first of all, we could say did she really say that? But I guess the video does show her saying, hey, you're going to be out here anyway. I think they were saying that in the wording, kind of pushing it more towards be an escort, but it's also a child. So I don't really understand the logic. Not that you should ever tell anyone to do that, but if someone's 30 years old and wants to be a sex worker, their life, their choice. If you're 14, you shouldn't be told, hey, we got you out of that terrible situation. You know, it's better being a child whore. Like, that'll be good for you. And, or is it the mother having 9 kids, letting one just go there and then they yelling at them like, I can't believe they would do this. They would call me a bad mom. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but you're obviously you're not mom of the year. I mean, you're not getting hammered in the head, but you're not doing so well that like literally the guy, the Michael Jordan of CPS is showing up to your house going, sorry. Like, when he has to come there and talk to you about problems, you're like on their list. They know you, Keisha Baisley. It's that, yeah. Is it that guy? Maybe phone call. Why are you driving down there? In this, I know you're saying it's more personal, but people, I'm sure he's showing up in like a protective services car at the house again. Like, oh, they're taking another kid. Like, no. He's apologizing. Like, they even fucked up. Or is it the 9 kids? How bad are these kids? Like, it's like, listen, I knew a family when I was growing up. They had 10 kids. CPS never went to their house. I used to go over their house and watch Inspector Gadget before we went to school. They were fine. Yeah, they were dirty and they didn't know what hoarders were back then, but they were them. But besides that, they were fine. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Bobby, you go first.
I need to hear the actual conversation.
The video's out there.
Is it like, is he saying you should be a prostitute, or is he being
no, it's not he, it's a she that was saying this.
Or is she being like, you should use what you have, like be cute to get an extra cupcake at school, you know? Because that's kind of like just a lesson some people should learn in life.
The video allegedly shows an exchange between the teen and a CPS worker who reportedly tells the girl to be a prostitute.
But was it metaphorically? Like, be a prostitute for lunch. Like, go out there and make new friends. Yeah, sure, you got to give up some of yourself, but that emotional vulnerability might be rewarded with pizza.
No, she told her to be a fucking prostitute.
Then I'm going to go with that woman is the piece
And she
of
was
shit.
told that if she didn't do this by the next time she came back, that she would be taken away.
Then it's the head of CPS. Because, you don't just come, you spend that travel time writing a new sweeping program. You figure out how you're going to investigate every one of your employees to make sure this isn't a pattern of behavior. The family will thank you. Name the new practice after the kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's a better way to show you're sorry than, showing up and saying, I'm sorry. It's kind of like...
that doesn't feel
You know
wrong.
who else? You know who else showed up and said he was sorry? The bowling ball from the last episode.
I don't know if he showed up. He was going to court. He's like, sorry. And
Rolled by.
He should have told that guy to be a prostitute.
Houston, they took down the bumpers. Houston, they took down the bumpers. This is a real problem.
Then Ben Ortiz could hire him on skipthegame.com.
Ooh. That's
Remember that when Ben was promoting that site? That's like where you can get escorts. Bob, Ben would just keep saying it. He's like,
we found
go to
one of
Skip
Ben's
the Game.
escorts.
It's the best one.
They're his sponsors. You got to drop him at least 10 times an episode.
We reached out to them to see if we could get him to get them to sponsor Ben. And Ben would tell us the name. When Ben posts pictures of women, just friends on his Facebook, those are prostitutes.
Oh,
and they don't.
I'm aware.
They don't want their picture taken.
No.
Pat, I keep calling Skip the Games, Pat, and I keep saying I have the sex addiction, but they're not helping. They just keep hooking me up with other prostitutes.
He messaged me the other
You
day.
said they were a sponsor, Pat.
He messaged me the other day and he just goes, yo, Pat, I'm so lonely. I got to go to the strip club, but I should save my money. And I'm never happy the next day. I'm like, well, do whatever makes you happy. Should I go to an open mic? I'm like, whatever makes you happy, Ben. If you want to work on a joke, work on a joke. If you want to go there, go there. And he goes, K. Then the next day he just writes to me and goes, yo, Pat, I'm still sad, but I saw tits. I'm like, all right, see, you did it. You did good. So he's fine.
I hope he went to the open mic and just paid open micers. Yo, let me see your tits. I'm sad. Here's $20. Ben,
for as loud and crazy he is at mics on stage, unless you approach Ben or know Ben, he's not going up to anyone and saying anything. Ben knows his role. Ben's one of the nicest guys at those things. He just does his thing and he's nuts, but he doesn't bother anyone.
Unlike us, where we put our torture onto our guests. Chris, who's the piece of shit?
The piece of shit. I think everyone but the 14-year-old girl.
Oh, definitely not her.
Keep your mouth shut. It's a viable business option.
This poor girl is clearly messed up and confused. You got her mother or her parents were supposed to be looking out for her that clearly aren't because CPS is getting called. So that's probably some fucked situation at home if it's at that point. And you got the CPS showing up who's supposed to help them, and they're like, yeah, you're a whore. You should just be a prostitute at this point. It's that's supposed to be the person helping you. And, it's just, very sad story. You said it was going to be heartwarming.
That was called sarcasm. That's why.
Oh, man, I believed you, Pat. I trust you.
I'm that CPS worker and you're the 14-year-old girl. I believed you.
May I play devil's advocate just for a minute here with the CPS worker? So this girl comes to you. Like you said, she's one of 9 siblings. Her family's not looking out for her. And you're like, look, here's the deal. You could either try hard in school and get a scholarship somewhere and get out of here. Or, a lot of girls, for her, that might be one of the most viable options. He's just giving her the vo-tech of prostituting. He's like, go figure out how this works. And by the time you turn 18, you're going straight to the pros. Like
a trade school? It's like an apprenticeship?
Yeah, he's like, I'll teach you how it works, and then,
it's listen, Sarah, you're not going to college, so let's just get that out of your mind.
Exactly.
All right? In the community college, we both know that's not going to work out for you. So why don't we just look at these trade schools right here? You got tech classes, you take shop.
You could be a beautician and make $12 an hour, or what if I told you could make upwards of $900?
Not bad.
Now, I'm going to premise this by saying this is awful. Anyone to say this to a 14-year-old toddler, anyone underage going through all that shit, like Chris said, this poor person that everywhere they turn is just going to hate adults their entire life. They're not going to trust anyone ever. Anyone that ever tries to help them says awful things to them. That being said, if you are the CPS worker unless we hear the tone and how it's being said, maybe in their fucked up mind, they were trying to do a scared straight thing that didn't work. Like maybe they were trying to like, oh, you're going to keep going down this road? Well, then I guess you're going to have to be a hooker. Well, I hope you like living outside and having old men touch you all the time. And you know what? I mean, if you're not going to do that, what's the point of us putting you in a hotel? If you're not going to change who you are, go be a hooker. When I come back next time, if you're not at least a hooker, then you're in trouble. Maybe she thought she'd be so scared she would change her ways, but instead she's like, Mom, that lady told me to be a hooker.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, neither do I. That's
my
the only hope I can take out of it, because I know a lot of people who do social work and things like that. And to take that job, to ever do that, you do have a good heart because you don't get paid well. You deal with a lot of crazy shit. You sometimes deal with kids are going with that. The next day you're being legitimately doing therapy for other people because they can't afford psychologists, so they're using you as a therapist. There's so much they have to do with a limited amount of time. They go from like getting their degree to boom, they're in a hotel room trying to tell a girl how to change her life, when in reality they can't change their lives or do anything.
So it's insane. A young aspiring social worker.
But they were better off to tell that
world. Girl. They enroll in school. 60 days later, there they are telling a 14-year-old.
Yep. Seriously, it's what it is. Like literally, two classes on Purdue Online University, and they're in that girl's hotel room. They're literally still finishing the finals while they're telling, shh, for a minute, let me finish this final, and then I'll tell you to be a whore. But it's obviously the other kids. It's like the other 8 children.
Oh, don't blame them for being ugly, Pat.
That's
listen,
well,
Sarah.
Remember how I ruined your punchline earlier?
Oh no, I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, I like how we think.
What a perfect ending to the show.
There could have been one other fuckable kid in that group. She wouldn't have been all alone. They could have had a whole harem, and Dad would have been there pimping them out. Don't blame this CPS worker for trying to be the next Ghislaine Maxwell. Do not blame her for going in there and being like, listen, I see a job opportunity open. She's not doing it anymore. You get inspired by your heroes. Chris was saying he has his aspirations on the wall. She has a picture of Ghislaine just saying hang in there instead of a cat. It's got Jeffrey Epstein with a noose saying hang in there. And then she's like, one day you can be that person.
I apologize. I thought you were going with, I thought it was the other kids for getting mad at their sister for blowing their new prostitution scheme. It was the first time they ate in 4 months.
But it's like, it's bad. Texas. That's the piece of shit. Because it's Texas. Because you're like ignoring, first of all, 9 I'm not saying you put a cap on it, but maybe there should be some kind of test. Like you like fill out a form, like, all right, you're allowed 5 at the most. Like 9, calm down. Maybe you should. We're all so quick to just like tie the tubes of a dog. We should tie the tubes of a person if they got 9 and one's going to be a 14-year-old hooker. Like if you're looking at,
they say, little girl, there's only 2 things in Texas: starving dead girls and prostitutes.
I thought it was steers and queers, wasn't it?
I don't see any. I don't see any starving deadness on you. I don't know. I tried.
I like how this woman's like a young Dan Schneider, where she's just like looking at kids and going, "You fuckable." It's like, how do you know? It's like, I got an eye for this. It's like,
she's like the scout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if people don't know who Dan Schneider is, just Google on your own. He found a lot of stars on Nickelodeon.
He's the reason why they made a Foot logo.
Yeah, then you can go check out fucking Sam from iCarly's fucking book she's got now because Dan Schneider ruined her life. But yeah, it's the piece of shit is obviously not the girl. I'm happy we all said that. Like, it's definitely not the 14-year-old girl, except for Bobby, who's an asshole. But I hope somewhere this girl grows up, gets to be what I don't know what the legal age in Texas is. Probably like, I'm guessing it's not 8 by 16. And I don't know what the legal age for a retard is. It's probably like 24. I hope the 2 of them get together. I think they both had tough mom problems. I want the bowling guy and Whore Girl to be a super couple someday and have a reality show.
Oh my God. And if he links up with Ben Ortiz, Ben can teach him how to write letters in prison so he doesn't look desperate.
Well, I don't think Ben's letters have ever worked. He gets turned down by prison women all the time, which is funny because you'd think they would just say not turn them down since they're not getting out.
That's pretty funny. I do think it's funny, going back to Sam's book real quick, how her book's called I'm Glad My Mother's Dead, and the biggest piece of shit in it is Dan. It's not her mom.
No, the mom's a piece of shit.
Oh, definitely. But if you read that
counted
book,
her calories as a child.
I mean, nobody wants a fat baby. I wish my parents had counted my calories a little closer.
Yeah, but you weren't Nickelodeon fuckable.
I know, because counting his calories.
Exactly, because I was too fucking chubby.
Yeah, and then she also talks a lot of shit about Ariana Grande just to get her to read the book. But whatever, I get it.
I mean, my favorite thing in there is she's like, and I knew I was quitting when I heard Ariana come in humming, and I was like, why are you so happy? And she's like, I got to hang out with Bill Murray. And it's like, wow, I wonder why they're using.
Oh no, see, the one I heard was she came in fired up because she got to play charades with Tom Hanks.
Charades with Tom Hanks, that's what it was.
Right, and
it's like, why is he getting to hang out with those kids?
And that's when I was like, fuck this bitch, I quit.
Yeah, I can't wait for Ariana's book. I'm glad Tom Hanks is dead, because that night by charade she meant brutal raping, because that's what.
But as comedians, we all get that though, because like how many times does somebody come in like, what'd you do? It's like, I got to do this show at this club. It's like, I want you to fucking die. Like, I am so mad you got that gig. You stink. So I get it. She shouldn't have been playing.
I'm always happy for my friends. I think there's enough success to go around.
Oh, same here. I just thought we were going with humor, and you only find it fun if a retard's bashing someone head of the hammer. But when I said a comedian might have a little bit of problems, you were like, hey.
I mean, the social.
Got to defend my people.
They were my people first, you fucking young buck.
The social worker kind of did the same thing as Sam's mom. He was basically like, hey, if you want to make it, you got to start sucking some dick.
But she didn't make her counter. I hate to say this. I don't know why I picture this 14-year-old girl being fat and trash. She's from Texas.
Really
I don't think she's attractive. I don't think she was like I think she was attractive. She'd tell her to be like a high-end escort. She just said be a whore.
I'm so glad you don't know what this girl looks like, because you sent me a very provocative picture, and I was afraid it was the 14-year-old.
Oh, no, that was another story we're not doing.
Yeah, I had a real Andy situation going on.
There's an OnlyFans woman in Australia who got in trouble. Everyone's throwing bricks through a window and flipping out on her and screaming at her because they hate what she does, because they think that she, and her OnlyFans, they're like, she's using her kids in it, but she's not. Like, all the videos show, like, she has some videos of her and her kids just living life. She's trying to share her whole self, and then she has other section of her like having sex or being nude. It is weird that she puts her kids
I don't like that.
That's weird. Yeah,
that's weird,
I don't like it, but I also don't hate it enough to throw a brick through a window.
Like I don't want to be on my porn and be like, I wonder what my porn star is doing with her kids, and then I see that and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this video of her. It's just like, that's like a weird. I don't want to be crossing those.
No.
Things.
Like, if you ever got sent in a picture from a girl who was like in sexy clothes, but her kid's in the background?
No, I've not.
It's happened to me twice in my life.
Her kid's got like a fork almost in the outlet, and you're like, you should. You know what? Never mind. This might kill two birds with one stone, if you know what I mean.
There was one time with this girl. I didn't even really know her. She saw me at a show and then started just sending me pictures. And like the third one, her kid was just chilling in the background, and she's like in front of a mirror, like. It's like she wasn't naked, but she was obviously trying to be sexy. And I'm like, I go, is that your kid in the back? She goes, that's what you're noticing? And I go, yeah, don't try to go there. It's not, don't be like, I'm a weirdo. Your kid's in this picture. So then she goes, oh, you're a pervert. I go, yeah, you're right. You know what? Next picture, get out of the way so I can see that sexy kid. And then we stopped talking. So I was like,
I'm shocked that line didn't work on her.
Yeah, I was hoping it didn't work. He's like, what are you doing? Get the kid out of the room. Or watch your kid. It's not photo time. First of all, why are you taking live photos? Any woman watching this right now, they all know that if a guy's asked for a picture, she's not now taking a photo shoot. She's got them in her phone. She did a shoot one time and she sends those. She's not doing live shots for you. So what this lady's like, nope, got to do it now. Why is your kid up? It's 3. Your kid's going to drive a car into people someday. Right? That's going to happen. Bobby, anything else?
That's what I've got, man. That was a fun episode.
It was fun. Chris, thank you so much. Tell people where they can follow you and stuff.
Name's Chris Warren. You can follow me on Instagram at Chris Warren Comedy.
And we've had a lot of comments on the show, and I usually don't say this, but Chris is actually funny. So please go see him. Like, I'm not saying in a bad way, but I've known Chris basically since you started, and funny guy. And people, especially like our shows, will love your humor. It's unique. It's different, but it's great. And I love where you're going with shit. I've told you I'm a fan. So please, if you see Chris is going to be anywhere, he's doing a lot of stuff in New York. So Bobby loves be a lot of listeners in New York. Go check out Chris when you know he's out there. Bobby.
I just did a show with Stevie Lou. It was a lot of fun. And we just recorded a new Davey Max sports program with Jake from John Boy. if you like those stupid video breakdowns as much as I do, check it out. It's a lot of fun. I will be at LOL tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when we post this. And I've got some gigs with Earl coming up and some things on the road. So check out my Instagram, Twitter. I'll be on there posting them.
What do I want to promote? Okay. Oh, I'll be at Off Cabot in Beverly, Mass. This was it September 15th and 16th, whatever it is, doing 4 shows there. I usually have heard of every comedian ever, and I have no idea who this headliner guy is. I looked him up. Amir K is his name. He's done big things, but I have no idea. I watched it, so I'll be me. If you want to see 2 people who probably would never hang out in a room unless they both had weed, Pat Oates and Amir K will be together at a show like that. It sounds like, which option would you take on the plane? The one that would kill you, the one that would talk to you? I'd take the one that would kill you. But go check that one out. I got a bunch of other dates I'll be putting up pretty soon as well. Make sure you get over on the Patreon, the POS Podcast Patreon, and join us there.
Yes, on that point, get over there, check out all the old archives. I know we're doing good stuff because I'm hearing other podcasts I listen to do similar bits to us. So we're scratching on the gold.
And I also know that another podcast is watching again because our guests are now showing up on their show a week later. So, Chris, you might get invited to a show pretty soon.
What is it?
Oh, he's a good guy. His name is, they're called Ski Mask, and he actually wears a ski mask when he does his podcast. But we'll have a guest on, and then 2 days later, there they are.
Ski Mask.
Who was the latest
hit me
one?
up.
You'd have fun with them. They're a good time. So,
who was the latest?
It was someone we had recently. I can't remember who.
Okay.
It's not Stevie because Stevie's always on there, so it wasn't him.
It was a dude.
No, it was. No, they've had him before, but it was Mark Random.
Oh, nice, very nice.
He was just on it, and Mark hadn't been on. I checked it out quickly. We're still the only ones that actually are nice to Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark's the man.
Guy's been through a lot. Then Mark released some rap album thing again. I'm like, oh, okay, keep doing comedy. But Chris, thank you so much for being on. Bobby,
if you can't join him, beat him, and don't be a piece of shit.